He's a rational investor, dividend digester. Saves some of his paycheck just like all his ancestors. Him looking for high yields? That's never the case. He's seeking 6% returns. Slow and steady wins the race. We pay our debts in our currency that might be unfurled if it's no longer the reserve currency of the world. Confidence in the dollar is permanent. Just ask any scholar. People are exchanging their dollars for dog money. Dog money? Dog money. Dog money. We trading it in for dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. I'm putting it all in dog money.
Yes, indeed, some people are putting all of their money into dog money. Welcome to Satoshi's Bitcoin Chart Show. This is the Bitcoin forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network, where we find out what's up with what is going down. Today's day is Monday, the 6th of September, 2021. Let's be gone and jump straight into these figures. Here we go, rock and roll. So starting from left to right, we've got Corecoin BTC, centrally owned, planned and controlled by Blockstream ever since they forked the protocol on the 24th of August 2017, implementing SegWit, segregating the signatures on the chain, meaning they're accountable to nobody, bringing it under their centralized control and crashing its fundamental value to zero. Well done them. And then we've got Bcrash, centrally owned, planned and controlled by Roger Ver and his crony mates who tamper with the protocol every 6 months. Then we've got Bitcoin, which is BSV, which is the original protocol going right back to the Genesis block. It hasn't changed, making it the real Bitcoin, the true Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin, and the world's first and only digital commodity, backed by the value of data sovereignty, making it the most valuable commodity on earth. Yes, indeed. And then we've got Fisher Price Cash on the end. What a joke. So let's have a look at these figures on Corecoin then. So we've got hash rate 97.7, network nodes 92.06, transactions 13.02, and block size 2%. So when you consider that BTC started out as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, something has clearly gone wrong. So we'll just let our favourite douchebag of Bitcoin, Peter McCormack, see if he can explain this for us right now. Take the floor, Pete, if you would be so kind.
Bitcoin is so different now from when Satoshi was here.
Yeah, well, when Satoshi was here, Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. How far away from that are we now?
It's a completely different project.
And what would Satoshi have to say about that?
It doesn't matter who Satoshi is anymore.
And what if he came back and said something like, what the hell do you think you're doing, effing up my project?
Even if Satoshi came back, I don't think he would just be immediately welcomed as having this God-given right to decide what happens with Bitcoin. I think he would have to earn his right back into the project.
Earn his right back into the project? I just thought he said it was nothing like Bitcoin. It's a completely different project, and it didn't matter who Satoshi Nakamoto was anymore. This makes no sense whatsoever. So in your opinion, what's this alternative project based on now then?
Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Consensus? Do you know what proof of work is? Do you understand the significance of a chain of signatures? Did you even bother to read the white paper? Blockstream implemented SegWit on the 24th of August 2017, which segregated the signatures on the chain, which meant they were now accountable to nobody, which means they centrally control it. So there is no consensus because it's centrally controlled. You absolute fool. But because you do make me laugh, I will give you one more chance at trying to convince me.
Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Is it now? And Roger, so tell us, give us your expectations for your centralized project that is Bcrash.
And we're going to really spread Bitcoin Crash across the entire country here in Antigua.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. And what do you say to all those global corporations that do billions, if not trillions of dollars of global trade on an annual basis that say they need a regulatory compliant monetary system in order to do so?
The ones that say that the blockchains all need to be legally compliant about everything all the time, just go use your Visa card.
Yeah, because that's going to work. And then Bitcoin, this is the genuine Bitcoin. So we've got hash rate 0.32%, network nodes 1.5, transactions 80.5, look at that, beautiful, and block size 97.2. So when you consider that Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system designed by Satoshi Nakamoto, who is Craig Wright, let's find out what his expectations are of his own project. So Craig, tell us, what do you want from Bitcoin?
I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin.
And when you strip everything down to the bare bones, is that it?
That's it. And that's what we spend money for. Very simple.
Loving that. Well, let me help out and I'll stick my foot right in. So look at transactions and block size, beautiful. So we'll just have a look at the data flowing through the chain right now. But before we do that, if you're wondering why I find this amusing, let me explain right now. Bitcoin mining operations compete to process data transactions on chain. No transactions, no use. No use, no value. No value, no money. The most valuable chain is the chain with the most utility on it. BTCs are utter clowns. Can you see what's going to happen? So obviously we want lots of transactions and lots of data flow through in chain, which we'll look at right now. But we'll just have a quick chat with Michael Saylor. So Michael, can you tell us, what do we want when we're looking at this?
Big blocks, $100 million chunks on the blockchain.
I thought so. All right, well, here we go then, just for you, Michael, baby. Starting from the top, calling out the megabytes, we've got 22, 44, 58, 6, 2, 75, 5, 28, 9, 79, 181, 117, 54, 141, 24, 68, 253, 269, 44, 6, 35, 41. Still got a few small blocks in there via BTC. Spoils my morning every day. Good grief, just get them off the chain. Wasting my time. They're not developing or progressing Bitcoin whatsoever. Just scooping up these small blocks, bottom feeders like catfish. And let's have a look at Fisher Price Cash. Yep, still struggling to get all of their blocks over a kilobyte, let alone anywhere near a megabyte. Absolutely hilarious. And let's see how many blocks there are on Bcrash. Another day, another column with not a single megabyte block. This is, I think, the third day in a row. A third day in a row where they've not had any blocks over a megabyte. And look, it doesn't even look like they're anywhere near it. The biggest one they've got is 738 kilobytes. Is that? Oh my goodness me! That's the biggest block they've got. 738 kilobytes. Oh dear! When are they going to smell the coffee and realise? Let's have a look at Corecoin then. So it looks like they've got a few blocks over. Oh, they've just got 2 blocks under a megabyte, but they still can't fill all of their puny blocks. Absolutely pathetic. So let's have a look at hash rate. So hash rate follows price, follows value, follows utility, follows creativity, initiative, and intelligence. If you are intelligent and you apply creativity and initiative, you can make something useful. When something is useful, it can then create value. When it creates value, it can then develop a price. When it develops a price, it can then be measured against the cost of other goods and services and used as a medium of exchange. Boom, next. Proof of work by network, Corecoin, Bcrash, Fisher Price Cash will fall into their own footprints because that's what Ponzi schemes do when they crash overnight. Bcrash Bitcoin hash rate, who cares? Bcrash Bitcoin proof of work, who cares? It is currently 4,542 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than it is any of these alternative protocols, shitcoins if you will. And it's currently, oh look at this, it's so 5.3% more profitable to mine on Corecoin. Shows you the increased competition for Bitcoin. Oh yeah. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network, Bitcoin absolutely smashing it. Daily Bitcoin transactions by network, Bitcoin smashing it. Daily transactions per block by network, Bitcoin smashing it. Daily average Bitcoin fees, there's fees USD, obviously the speculative USD price is quite high. Fees Satoshis, again, not sure what's going on here. Yeah, we'll find out in time, so we'll keep an eye on that. Daily Bitcoin fee to block reward ratio, again, so we're gonna well, over time this the fees coming in will surpass the block reward because the block reward gets cut in half every 210,000 blocks, and let me demonstrate it for you here. So that red line that we're looking at is literally just this bottom line right here. So this is the dotted line as the block reward. The block reward gets cut in half every 210,000 blocks. That goes down and down and down. And then the fees in the block due to transaction volume goes up and up and up and up, up and up. And then we have an economically self-sustaining system. Absolutely beautiful. So let's have a look at the daily average daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. Absolutely huge. How far are we in front now? 388 gigabytes. Wow, amazing. So that's at least probably maybe 20 gigabytes. 20 gigabytes in front of Corecoin. And let's have a look at the politics then. So hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. So Corecoin has currently got 97%, so that's going to look very similar. Pooling macking it hard today for some reason. Bcrash, look at that ant pool via BTC, btc.com. Honestly, it's such a complete waste of time and energy. It's hilarious when I think about it, how much money they're wasting, but you know, shitcoin is shit for brains. And here we go. Whoa, so what is going on here? Via BTC has increased their hash rate to 25%. 25%, and they're still mining small blocks. I have suspicions about them. Very much so. Because I don't think they are helping to progress the development of Bitcoin. I think they might simply be dumping it. But I mean, they're a huge miner. I mean, look at that. They're huge. They're absolutely massive. So 15.9% of BTC, 18% of Bcrash, and now 25% of SV. I mean, they're a massive miner. I mean, what on earth are they doing? You know, but whatever it is, you know, they're not progressing Bitcoin. So, yeah, I have doubts about them. You know, keep an eye on them. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. That's what I say. And Fisher Price Cash is suddenly via BTC, absolutely loving that as well. I mean, again, I mean they've got approximately the same hash rate on all chains. I mean, like a huge miner. I think they're maybe just hedging their bets, maybe. But again, you know, they clearly don't understand it. So anybody who's a shitcoin or a shit for brains, you need to be careful of, because you never know what they're going to do, because they're unpredictable. But the reason we don't want any shitcoin enterprises on the chain is because the only thing they understand is dollar worshipping, which leads on to price manipulation, which we will look at now in the short positions. Here we go. Check it out. Right, where are we? So short positions on the original Bitcoin protocol. You know, that all these traders love their Bitcoin. Look at that, and now they're shorting it 90%. Absolutely pathetic. Look, they're shorting it. I mean, look at the increase in the price as well. Look at that. Look at that. And they've still got a 90% short ratio on it. Shitcoin is shit for brains. All right, and let's have a look at Coolcoin. Here we go. All right, so short positions on Coolcoin are 2.3. Obviously, Tether's been printing. You're feeding it into the market. So again, I mean, just traders, all they're doing is dollar worshipping, really. So it's crazy when you think about it. 2.3% of Coolcoin. All right, let's have a look at Bitcoin blocks live. Here we go, lovely jubbly. So for any newbies watching this for the first time, wondering what they're looking at, the vertical rectangular blocks are the transactions being broadcast and recognized by more than 50% of the nodes on the network, and they are recognized instantly the moment they're broadcast, because Bitcoin is an ultra small world Mandela network shaped like this. It means as the size of the network increases, the density of the links goes to zero, making it ultra small world and highly sparse respectively. The network formulation can lead to an improved topology against malicious attacks, so it's hard to take down. So once the transactions are recognized by more than 50% of the nodes on the network, they are then thrown into the memory pool, which is where they are competed for by miners and payment processors in order to create a block, put the transaction within a block, and then place the block on the blockchain, which is when they're rewarded with the Coinbase data, otherwise known as the block reward, otherwise known as freshly minted Bitcoin, and block fees. So if we highlight this 668 megabyte block, in the highlighted rectangular box below that, we can see the hash of the block height, who it was mined by, the size, the time, the date, the transaction count, and total fees in the block. And we will just let Laura Shin and Dan Held explain the significance of block fees right now.
So, you know, as you mentioned, at a certain point when the block reward stops, there will be a transition where miners will be compensated in transaction fees, not in the block reward. And the current amount that they earn is from fees is about 9% of the block reward. And so we'd have to see transaction fees 11x by roughly 2140, which is when the new Bitcoins will stop being minted. But I just wondered, you know, if we don't see an increase in the amount of transactions that can happen at layer one, because the number of layer one transactions is limited. And right now, I feel like a lot of the scaling is focusing on layer two. Can transaction fees 11x in that time, or will that require people to pay a lot more per transaction?
Over the next couple halving cycles, we should see it start to predominantly be the value that is compensated to the miners in the block reward. If Bitcoin is the world reserve currency that doesn't have a strong security model, like there's not a lot of monetary compensation in the block reward due to transaction fees, well, then its long-term security will be weak. If it is the world reserve currency, there will be very, very many layer one transaction fees.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you think it is possible that the amount in transaction fees will maybe not be enough on layer 1 to replace the block reward when the time comes.
Absolutely, there won't be enough to replace the block reward when the time comes, because the block has been purposely restricted to 1 megabyte in size, which means it can only handle 4 to maybe 7 transactions per second if all the stars in the universe align. And if you're wondering who that sound was trying to chime in there, that was Andreas Antonopoulos when he realised that Laura Shin has just rumbled in. So do you honestly think a network that could only handle 4 to 7 transactions per second was honestly meant to economically sustain all of this lot? This is the world's Bitcoin mining farms. This is the backbone to the new global financial system where we finally have a commodity money. It blows my mind every time I see this. Absolutely sensational. Sensational stuff. Let's have a look at BitInfo charts then. Here we go. So where are we now? 30.1 of the overall CMC transactions, smashing Ethereum and XRP. But we know that Ethereum and XRP are fundamentally worthless anyway. And just for lulz, we'll listen to David Schwartz, the Chief Technical Officer of Ripple Labs, explaining that XRP is fundamentally worthless right now.
The XRP is a digital asset. It's censorship resistant. It's publicly traded. It trades on the XRP ledger. Ripple does not own or control the XRP ledger in any way.
Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
So how did Ripple then get all the XRP that it has? It has about half the supply. So just how did that particular transaction happen?
Good question. How did Ripple Labs end up with half the supply of 100 billion XRP?
So the way its design works is when the ledger first began operation, the 100 billion XRP, all that will ever exist, were sort of up for grabs.
And remind me to have a look up the economic theory of being sort of up for grabs.
And lots of people grabbed XRP out of that system, but it just so happens that obviously, just like early miners mined, huge amounts of Bitcoin before the public knew about it or was using it, early XRP users grabbed large amounts of that pool of XRP. And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
One more time, David.
The people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Yeah, because they grabbed it. And Ethereum being a security.
You just described some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token,
start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether, where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
About 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now.
Myself leading the protocol design.
And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
Partially in order to better flesh out the business plan, partially in order to better flesh out the terms, partially for legal reasons.
Absolutely brilliant. So let's have a look at the charts in. Here we go. Transactions 24 hours. Just I love looking at this chart every day. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Remember, these will be increasing soon. Terranode isn't even online yet. They have no idea. Amazing. Let's have a look at scaling test network. Yep, still 19,841 transactions per second on the official scaling test network, although we have all seen shadows demonstrate 50,000 transactions per second on Terranode. Beautiful. And bsvdata.com, check it out. Where are we now? Data size, meta ID, 5.9 gigabytes. That was like 6.1 the other day. I'll find out what's going on. Maybe they've kind of like done a massive expansion and just retracing slightly. Still very good though. Let's have a look at applications. So figures across the top. Daily Bitcoin transactions of Bitcoin is 1.3 million transactions, and look at this. The mean fee per transactions 0.00465 of a dollar. So just half a cent. Amazing. And CryptoFi's daily data size 1.326 gigabytes. Beautiful. I still haven't played that yet. I'm really going to have to give it a go. Trends.cash, here we go. So apps ranking by performed actions, yep, run and crypto fights again, complementing each other due to NFT creations. Apps ranking by money spent. What's this? BitPick? What's this? BitPick 70% of apps ranking by money spent? What is going on there? Surely that can't be right. That's a huge amount of money being spent on BitPick. What's going on there? I mean, if these figures are right, it's pushing TDXP app down into the TDXP has only got 13%. BitPick, is that right? I can't believe it. If it is, might have to go and have a look at that. But that's why I do the chart show every day. You know, strange figures. All right, BitPick, remember that. Crypto Quant, yep, so all the exchanges were cashing out of their reserves. That was counteracted by huge amounts of tether printing, so a squeeze in the liquidity and a huge amount of tether printing caused a massive spike in the price and created this huge bubble. And this is exactly why Tether has started printing again, because the exchanges are dumping, because BTC is fundamentally worthless and they know it. You know, if you're a shitcoiner, don't say I didn't try to warn you. What's on chain? Good question. What is on chain? Estimated next block size 338 megabytes. Memory pool usage 395. Let's have a look at transactions. Yeah, 1.1 million transactions according to what's on chain over the last 24 hours. Joho's memory pool. Look at this. So this is what a memory pool is meant to look like. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. What is this? Is this anything to do with BitPick all of a sudden? Is this anything to do with what we saw apps ranking by money spent? What's this? This is interesting. So obviously, you know, data should be cleared from the memory pool. I mean, it's okay in there. It's just it's still valid, or transactions or whatever. It's just in the memory pool and not on the blockchain. So yeah, have to find out what that is exactly. Interesting. But what a memory pool is not meant to look like is CoreCoin BTC, where it's absolutely all over the shop, because they've implemented replace by fee, which allows for double spends, which means nobody knows when they're going to receive their transaction. Child pays for parent, restricted the block size, implemented Lightning Network, told people not to use it. Absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. And we can see the effect that it's had on TX Street, which we will look at right now. And while we're looking at this, we'll have a quick chat with Adam Back, the Chief Executive Officer of Blockstream, who centrally own, plan and control BTC CoreCoin, to find out his expectations of a payment network.
So, fee estimation in some cases is quite bad. If you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee.
Oh, shut up. I'm not waiting 4 hours just to not pay a priority fee when I'm using a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, you fool. Look at these fees. Median fee is 57 cents. Remember, on Bitcoin, they were half a cent. So you have to add that on top of every high-frequency trade. Good luck with that. See how long your high-frequency trading company lasts for. And Ethereum, look at this. The median ETH transfer fee, $9.18. That is absolutely hilarious. So how do you respond to that, Vitalik?
The internet of money should not cost 5 cents a transaction. It's kind of absurd.
Yeah, really? So you're telling us it should cost $9.18? Idiot. And let's have a look at our own issues with excessive money fiat printing. Dear oh dear, so what is it that we know about that?
Statistical analysis has found that every time an empire begins to near its own demise, you'll find that its currency will be debased.
Yes, indeed, and there we go. So we can see that back in 1959, there was only $139 billion in circulation. And then by 2010, that was $2 trillion. But then by 2020, it was $4 trillion. It's like doubled in 10 years. But then it tripled in just 2 months. 2 months. This just simply goes to show that money is becoming absolutely worthless. And if you're wondering why they're going around trying to jab everybody, that's the reason. Right there. You think I'm joking? CoinGecko, so knowing that Bitcoin is the only thing that can save us, how are we feeling about it today? $197? Cool. It's looking pretty good. I wonder how everybody's feeling about it. Feeling good? 86% feeling good. That's more like it. Look at that. Strength in the price. Come on. Come on. Remember, price is the end result of all the hard work and effort that has gone in prior. And let's have a look at Bitping. Here we go. So money flow per hour, 84 cents. 51 countries. Oh, it's going up. So remember, Bitcoin is the only network that's up 24/7, which means it can monitor the downtime of all these other networks. Little do all these other networks know that they will eventually all be running on the Bitcoin network themselves. They just don't even know it yet. But we do. We know what's coming. And the morning run, 24-hour trade volume, good, down to 4,652. Stay away from this, people. Move fast and break stuff does not mean breaking the law, of which all these shitcoin token offerings do. They are all illegal security offerings. Bitcoin is the only genuine, the only commodity token, and we have had 1,315,805 purchases of it in the last 24 hours. Price registering here is 196. Very good. And live coin watch, here we go. So yeah, 197. Oof, come on. Let's have a look at the depth chart figures here. So I am moving northwards. 4.4 million bids versus 6.9 million asks. So people, 7.1 million asks. People are willing to sell, but at a high price. Will they get the price? Who knows? People getting desperate. It's interesting to watch. And let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Oh, look at that. And that was that great big candle. And now we're above that as well. Cool, loving that. I wonder what's causing that. And let's have a look at Coin versus USD. Oh, so right, look at that. So they've had a big candle as well, but that's Tether. Tether printing there. Oh dear, but there's no value in it, there's nobody using it, or they're just simply relying on copious amounts of Tether printing. That is it, that's all they've got, you know. Dear oh dear, nobody else is buying that piece of crap, like literally no one. It's Tether printing it, and that's it, because it does nothing. What's the point in buying something you can't even use? You know, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, put your money into a Ponzi scheme, store of value. Yeah, yeah, right. Let's see how long that value lasts for it. It doesn't do anything. If something is useless, it is worthless, and if it's worthless, it has no value. That's it. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Coin. Oh, look at that. So Bitcoin is still winning. Loving that. Come on. Looking beautiful there. And remember, there's no Tether printing going into genuine Bitcoin. It's all going into all these shitcoins to try and discredit Bitcoin, to steer people away from it. But the transaction volume and the data flow is undeniable. You know, you can't print more money than there is in all the world that all the people have got. And especially people are using it. They're just like, well, I don't want all that paper money crap. I'll just simply use Bitcoin. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at the entire CMC. Here we go. So yeah, Coin rising up. So look, so that green candle has suddenly gone up 3.3%, but that's because, you know, Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin, is steadily rising, which is what they don't want people to see. And also, as the price goes up, mining profitability increases as well. Look at that. So Bitcoin, look at that. We were 50 the other day. Now we're at 45. And a good look at Quant. Look, Tether's been pumping that as well, like 36%. Absolute joke. An absolute joke. 12% EOS. I mean, they're doing all they can. This is where all the Tether printing is going. It's going into all these shitcoins. Filecoin, it's just simply one shitcoin after the next. That's all they're trying to do, is just simply bury and discredit Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, as I said, is the only one with any true fundamental value. So knowing that Bitcoin is the only one with true fundamental value, the question has to be asked, what is it that makes BTC valuable? And we'll just listen to Daniel Kraus putting that question to Tony Vase right now.
Why do you think BTC is valuable?
It's valuable because it's the only unconfiscatable asset we have, and that is because that comes from its decentralization. I think Bitcoin is the only valuable crypto asset we have because of the nature of how it started in its first few years.
And when you say Bitcoin, you mean BTC, right?
Absolutely.
But are you aware that in 2017, they changed the rules so that BTC no longer follows the Bitcoin white paper?
That is not true at all.
The white paper says that there needs to be a chain of signatures.
Sure.
Okay, so that's not what we have anymore. That's how SegWit changed that.
Okay, but it's still Bitcoin.
Nice one, Tone, you bone. You see the kind of imbeciles that we're dealing with. Absolutely insane. So YouTube, got another subscriber, 648. Thank you very much. Heading in the right direction. Let's have a look at Streamanity. 306 followers. Thank you very much. Would like his number. I would like the names. I would like the same number of followers on Streamanity as I get on YouTube. Would be nice. Twitch stats. So made $154 so far on Twitch. Try earning that on Twitter. 249 followers. And let's have a look at Acorn Stacks just quickly. How many new signups do we have on Twitch over the last 24-hour period? Or is it 16, 15, 14 hours? New users 19, heading in the right direction. And let's have a look at Mama Bitcoin. Ruth Eastman's legendary tweet. How are we doing today? Oh, look, it's going up. Twitter are having trouble keeping it down. We're now at 1,118. Remember, we like this every day. 1,119. They're having trouble suppressing it. How is our man Satoshi getting on? Has he got to more than 80.2 thousand? Look there, Twitter are having to let it slip. They're just there's so many people following him. We're gonna have to let it up slowly. Oh dear, like the dam bursting. Stablecoin printer that isn't very stable with their reporting. So the last report was 4th of September. Yeah, we'll leave that one. Let's go on to well alerts then. Let's see what's happened over the last 24 hours. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. 24, what's this? Binance USD. They're not going to last long. Well, we'll say, oh my God, look at this. Well alert. Another, look at this. $1 billion of USDT printed. Would you believe it? I was saying, look, that's where the tether's going. I was like, you can see the prices going up. And there we go. 2 hours ago. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Furious. But, now they actually have... they've got protection from those dark forces that actually sit over and above the New York Attorney General. So they're just going to make it too obvious. What's this wrapped BTC? That's 13 hours. 22. Oh, there we go. Right, so yeah, another $1 billion of USDT printed. That would explain the green candle that we've just seen there. Dear, oh dear, dear, oh dear. Anyway, there we go. Looks like we're up to date with the figures. Hope you enjoyed the show. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways.